Hey, and welcome back to the Pod Cafe. I'm Nick Potts.
I'm Emily Potts.
And we still drink coffee and talk about the podcast we're listening to.
It's been so long since we've done this.
It's been like a month.
I feel like I don't remember what we're doing here.
About a month, yeah. It's been a little bit.
It's been a bit. Forgot how much these headphones make me feel like I can't hear myself. I'm going to try.
Yeah.
There we go.
We're in a different world with these things.
So, welcome back. I'm glad we're
Yep.
back.
Yep.
My Sundays have felt a little like they're missing something for the last few weeks, you know? Like I should have been doing something and I wasn't. So we're back.
You know, it's funny. I did feel a little less productive on Sundays, which is really interesting. But that's kind of nice. I'm glad I really feel the need to do this on Sundays.
It's weird because I was like, oh, I have nothing to really wake up for tomorrow. Usually I wake up for this.
Yeah.
Really slows me down. But we're back. You drinking coffee?
Well, of course.
What are you
Can't do it
drinking?
without coffee. I'm drinking a Dunkin' Donuts caramel coffee cake with, not with, well, kind of with, no, it's a K-cup, but, and it is surprisingly pretty good. Something about the caramel, like the basic flavors, like caramel, mocha, vanilla.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I never taste the difference in.
But this cake thing, you can taste it?
I don't know if it's the cake, the coffee cake part. It might be. This one isn't quite as good as I had this like cinnamon roll coffee cake one.
Ooh.
And that one I actually really taste the difference from.
That sounds good. Cinnamon's kind of a strong flavor.
Yeah, and that might be it. So the caramel's not as good, but I don't know, the coffee cake brings it out a little more. It weirds me out a little bit. Like, how do they get the coffee cake flavor into it?
I think it's like basic flavors that they make you think as a cake, like vanilla and cinnamon, and
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
It makes me feel a little ripped off because now I'm just getting a caramel vanilla cinnamon coffee, not a coffee cake.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what you're getting. But then throw some marketing people at it. Whole new world.
Yeah, that does make more sense, though, because how could you get a non-liquid cake into a coffee?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It's pretty good. Not the greatest, but I'll give it like a 7.
Okay. All right. That sounds pretty good.
Yeah. What about you? What are you drinking?
Well, I had to go to the chiropractor this morning.
For your back?
For my shoulders. I don't know what happened.
Shoulders.
I had a chiropractor adjustment on Friday, and then yesterday my shoulders squeezed up into a little ball, and I couldn't move. Literally couldn't move. I was like ice, heat, Motrin all day. It was sad. So I called I Facebook messaged my chiropractor. Got real weird. And I was like, hey, emergency, need you to fix me tomorrow. So she fixed me this morning. And then on my way home, I stopped at my favorite coffee shop, which I think I've talked about on here before because it is my favorite coffee shop. And it's called Vicinity. They just got their liquor license, I noticed. Haven't been there in a while. So they can now sell beer and wine as well. But I didn't get that. I got a coffee. And I got this iced coffee. It's called a Nola. Nola.
Like Nala, New Orleans?
Yeah, like that. It's like an iced coffee with some honey, some sort of milk in it, and some sugar. Tastes really great.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
My roommate puts honey in his coffee, and I never heard that before. Is honey good in coffee?
It's great. Honey's great. It replaces like a sweetener.
Well, I love honey in general, but I don't know, it seems like not something to put in your coffee.
Give it a try, you know?
Yeah, I guess I will.
It's good. It's kind of like a healthier version of throwing a bunch of caramel in there. You know?
Yeah, I guess. Except it doesn't taste like caramel.
Yeah. But then I was like getting it to go because I was like, I got to get back here to do this podcast with Nick, even though clearly I had some time because you were asleep.
Very, very asleep.
Yeah. But I got it to go. And then I'm like, I got a plastic cup with a plastic lid and a plastic straw. I am no better than my normal K-cup right now, you know?
Oh, in terms of environmental impact?
Yeah. You know how everyone hates plastic right now?
Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah.
I just learned about these paper straws.
Yeah, I hate paper straws. Just give me no straw.
I've never seen one in person.
They just get like they're not structurally sound for a liquid, you know? Because it gets wet and then it gets flimsy and then it breaks.
Well, because it's paper.
I know. And I'm all about the environment. So I support the no straw game. But yeah, then I just had a ton of plastic.
You see those Starbucks cups with the no straw?
Yeah. However, I wonder how much better those are because it's just a more plastic lid now.
I heard that too. I heard it takes the same amount of plastic, but I don't know. People just want peace of mind.
Yeah.
I think
guess.
They just feel better about not throwing away a lid and a straw.
Yeah.
But they're definitely like sturdier. They're thicker and
yeah.
and like a heavier plastic.
As it should be, because if you're like tipping that thing back, you don't want to pour your coffee all over you.
Yeah. But they don't give them out for all the coffees. I've only had them with the cold brews.
Fascinating. I haven't had one yet, actually. And there's a coffee or a Starbucks right across the street from my work. I don't know if they're not doing it yet or what the deal is.
Well, yeah, I don't know what drinks they do it with. I got it. Anytime I get a cold brew, I get one. But if I get an Americano, they give me the straw and the regular lid.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I guess at least all of my plastic is recyclable versus my K-cup. So there's my slight improvement. I'll recycle it.
That's true. Did the chiropractor help?
Kind of. A little bit. I mean, still feeling really tight, but I can move now. Yesterday I couldn't turn my neck. Today I can turn my neck. That's an
improvement. But is it the chiropractor or is it the rest and heat and ice?
I'm not sure. I'm gonna go with I hope it's the chiropractor because I got up early and made her get up early and meet me on a day when they're closed. So I hope it's the chiropractor for everyone's benefit.
That's really nice of her.
Yeah, via my Facebook message to her.
Did you pay her for that?
I don't know. I don't think so.
What?
I didn't pay anything. I just said thank you and left.
Are you guys friends?
Yeah, she's my homie. She's the best. She plays rugby. I'm like, yeah, that's the kind of chiropractor I need. She's strong.
Some working hands.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's my Sunday morning.
Me and Abby went to a chiropractor after my fight and did that cupping.
Oh, I hate the cupping. Yeah, you looked dead. Do you see how white your skin was?
Yeah, I didn't realize.
You looked literally like a corpse.
Yeah. Well, that's just me.
It freaked me out.
I'm just white.
Yeah, I know. You're like next level white, though.
We went to, me and Tony Joe went kayaking the day after the fight, and from LA, he brought me a surf shirt.
Oh my goodness.
Like a long sleeve water shirt.
So why?
I wouldn't burn.
Oh my goodness.
I was like,
necessary.
I'm not allergic to sun. I can put on sunscreen and just be out in the sun.
Well, I'm sure your skin appreciated it.
I will probably not get skin cancer.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was a long intro.
Should we talk about the podcast?
I guess we should do that.
Okay.
I guess I kind of chose this one. So, well, first of all, what genre was this?
News and politics.
News and politics.
So we only have 1, 2, 3 more episodes to close out this season.
Whew. What do we got left?
Educational, arts and entertainment, and games and hobbies. I already know what the games and hobbies is going to be. That's going to be a hard one.
You already got that one?
What?
You already got that one?
No, I'm just saying I know what we have to do for that one, and it sounds like it's going to be hard.
Oh. Well, you're ahead of me. I don't know what we have to do.
You don't know what we have to do? I feel like we've been talking about this since we started this podcast.
Well, here's the thing. You're talking about actual play podcast, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, we should do one. We don't necessarily have to do it first. There's lots of other games and hobbies.
That's true.
Yeah, we don't. That doesn't have to be the first one. I will love to do one.
I would love to get it out of the way, you know?
Okay. Well, maybe we will then. Maybe we'll do it last. It'll be our season finale.
Oh, fun. Already excited.
Me too.
Okay. Tell me about the news and politics. Politics. Whatever I just said.
This podcast we listened to was called Louder. Well, it still is called. They haven't changed it.
No.
It's called Louder with Crowder. And it is hosted by this guy, Steven Crowder. And he's pretty bumping in the media right now because he is very, very, I don't know, controversial and outspoken. And he has this series called Change My Mind that was turned into a meme. Have you seen the memes?
No. Should I look them up?
Yeah. There's
Change My Mind. Meme.
Everybody's probably seen it. So it's Crowder sitting at just like a folding table.
Oh, yeah,
with like a sign in front of the table, and it has something on it, and then it says "Change My Mind." So his series started as like political issues, like I don't know. He talks about abortion, he talks about gender, he talks about gun control, he talks about hate speech and stuff. And the sign says "Change My Mind," but then there's memes that will say like anything. I don't know. You're looking at them. Give me an example.
Pop Tarts are ravioli. Change my mind.
Wait, what? Pop Tarts are ravioli?
Yeah. That's kind of funny.
They're not.
You don't think so?
Pop Tarts are what? They're like dessert ravioli? Is that what you mean?
I don't know what they mean. That's just one I said.
I mean, kind of.
Wait, I got another funny one.
Okay.
Milk is cereal sauce.
Those are really funny, actually.
Water is wet. That's a hard one.
Well.
Hold on. These are getting funny. Where else we got here? There's a lot that are weird. They're like replacing his face.
Replacing his face?
Yeah, like putting a face over his face. All video games should have a fishing mini game. I don't know. I don't think so.
Yeah, definitely not all of them.
Bats are bugs.
Cats?
Bats with a B.
Oh, bats are bugs? No. False.
I really like the first one. Pop Tarts are ravioli. They kind of are. I guess. How do you define ravioli? Oh, hot dogs are sandwiches. That's a big one.
Hot dogs are what sandwiches?
Are sandwiches. Do you think a hot dog is a sandwich? I don't think it is.
I mean, is a burger a sandwich?
Yeah.
What?
I kind of think so. Maybe. Closer to a sandwich than a hot dog.
Yeah. A hot dog's not a sandwich. It's like
hot dogs are like one bun. They're not like two things, you know? I feel like a sandwich needs two separate pieces. I just clapped my hands together if you didn't see that.
A burger is technically a sandwich, right?
I think so. There's this restaurant kind of by my apartment, and they have like a whole section of their menu that is hot dogs, and they keep it separate from the sandwiches. I don't know.
Huh.
Whatever. Okay, so we've kind of derailed here. You can keep going. I'll let you know if I find any funny ones again.
Okay. I'm not finding any. I don't know where you found the Pop Tart one. I'm not finding any good ones.
I'm just on Google Images. It was like the first one.
Yeah.
But now I'm on like the 30th page of Google Images, and they're not getting funny.
Well, okay. So anyway, that's his Change My Mind. That's his Change My Mind series. But he doesn't talk about Pop Tarts. He talks about like male privilege. And so that's not his like. That's just a part of his podcast. It's his main podcast is just, I don't know. There's a bunch of podcasts like this, if you ask me. Just talking about politics and different social issues and whatever current events and stuff going on. And he is very, very conservative.
Very.
And very. And as it is with these politics podcasts, I think not meaning that they're all conservative, but they all swing pretty far to one side, I think, because I don't think an interesting podcast is being in the middle, probably. Not controversial enough.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that's really the basis of the podcast, unless you have more background. I didn't do any like background research on him or anything.
Well, I think most of his topics are usually like social topics too. Like he doesn't really talk about financial, actual like political, like most of his conservative topics are based on like a social concept, right?
I think maybe his more popular ones are just because that's like the thing, like gender and male privilege and stuff is the thing to talk about right now.
Yeah.
But he does talk a lot about like gun laws and like
he does that,
and like the laws of hate speech and like immigration and I don't know. He does talk about all the different political issues, but he's got an interesting healthcare. He talks about healthcare, but he's got an interesting perspective actually because he's Canadian.
Yeah.
He lived in Canada. I almost said Canada. He lived in Canada.
But he was born in the U.S.
Was he?
Yeah, in Michigan.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he
moved there?
Moved to Canada and grew up there. So he's like American Canadian, you know.
Got it. But then he moved back here.
Yeah.
He
One fact about him that I did like, because I didn't like a ton about him.
Yeah.
He was the voice of the Brain on Arthur.
What?
Yeah. You remember the Brain character?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's that voice.
I didn't know that.
That was like his early childhood career.
Yeah, that was forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool.
Yep.
I think I like him a little more for that.
Classic.
So I guess that's it for like background stuff. Yeah, it's a political podcast.
And so, as a disclaimer for my perspective when we're talking, I really only listen to the episodes that had topics that I have a strong opinion on. And because then I was like, that these would be more interesting to me. And just as a person, I am socially very, very liberal. So obviously this guy was just killing me the whole time. But that's my disclaimer on the episodes that I actually listen to.
I a little bit did the same thing, not for the same reason. I did the same thing I do with all interview podcasts, and I listen to all the ones with MMA fighters on them.
Of course,
so
who are also generally conservative people. So
okay, It's a conservative podcast. So the sample size is going to be conservative. It doesn't mean all of them are conservative. The ones who went on this podcast probably going to be.
I know, but the Change My Mind episodes that I watched on YouTube were like my girls out there, my liberal ladies, you know. So
well, here's what I would say. We are not a political podcast.
No, we're not.
So I don't know that we need to get into our takes on issues.
However, I don't think that I am like ashamed that I am socially liberal. I can stand behind my belief there.
Yeah, no, I didn't say anything about being ashamed. I'm just saying, like, we should try not to argue with him about his political views or rate him based on his political views. Just just the podcast
that's fair.
stuff.
Yeah. I won't rate him, but I don't want to be his friend. So
well, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think you have to be.
I'm not going to be.
So
he doesn't want to be my friend either.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and jump into the intro.
Okay.
All right, glad to be with you. That sound today is the sound of the weekend. For people who watch daily, it's not. It's just the sound of another show because we're every day for Mug Club members. Producing with me in video studio, as always, is Jared, who is not gay. Follow him on Twitter at NotGayJared. Me at SCrowder. I fulfill my legal obligations. Draw your own conclusions.
I think the intro is confusing.
Yep, 100%.
I didn't get it, like, at all.
Well, here's the thing. We talked about it a little bit already off air, but it is more of a YouTube channel that it's more catered to a visual audience rather than just audio, and they say that at the beginning of all the episodes. But what I didn't get is the first episode I listened to, it started with like a bit, like a comedy bit that they like produced, and like they were characters, and they were doing something, they were acting something out, which didn't make a lot of sense to me. One, because I couldn't see it, and two, because I just didn't understand its relevance. And so they do that sometimes at the beginning of a lot of the podcasts, and then sometimes they just start with music, and then I don't know, it's different every time.
One of the ones I listened to was like, our intro is going to be a play off of Westworld, which I didn't get, and I've never seen that show, so I really didn't get it.
I don't know if I listened to that episode. I have seen Westworld. So
yeah, I had no idea what they were talking about. So for like 6 minutes, I was just like, I'll wait till you start saying words I understand again.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Oh, I just spilled so much coffee on myself.
Oh,
what
bummer.
a bummer. Like all over my white shirt.
Not on the shirt.
Damn it.
But did it get on the equipment? That's important.
No, just all over my shirt.
Well, do you need a break to clean it up?
No, this shirt's pretty gross, so it's okay.
Okay. Just do it. You're going to smell like coffee for this podcast.
Oh, yeah. Okay, continue. Sorry, that was abrupt.
Well, I don't know what I was saying, but my point is I'm not a huge fan of this intro. What I am a fan of is they don't have any ads in their... well, do they?
No?
I
don't think so, actually.
Yeah, I don't think they have any ads because they do it based on Mud. I forgot what the website was. It's called Mud something. But I think it's donation based. or
And
subscription
they
based.
probably don't need to for the podcast because I bet he makes enough off of the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I'm sure he does. So that's kind of nice, but the intro's weird. It's long, and I don't know, unnecessary. And I also feel like when they just do music, it's not just the same song every time.
Yeah. Mug Club.
And
That's what it is.
Mug Club. Yeah. I don't exactly know what it is, but I think that's where they make their money.
I'm looking into it. Keep talking.
I kind of like when a podcast has the same song start every time. It's like my go button. It's like all right, this is it. Here we go. Now I like with this one, I don't know if I'm accidentally coming in the middle of the podcast or like I don't know what they're doing. So
yeah, I definitely I couldn't even. I was thinking about the last couple episodes that I was listening to, like trying to make sure I was thinking about all of our like discussion criteria, and I was like, I don't even understand when the intro stops because it's just confusing to me the whole time.
I just assume the stopping point is when they start talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It is a super confusing intro. Not a huge fan. I'm gonna give it like a 5.
Okay, I was gonna give it a 4. So
yeah, okay.
We're in the same realm here.
Right.
They need to work on that. I need an intro.
Yeah, I need an intro, and not a long one, but an intro. What's number 2? Content.
The
big one. Well,
big one.
Maybe this isn't such a big category for this podcast because it's just the content. No matter what the issue is just political content. It's just political issues.
Yeah, I do like. So you know how in the beginning they start with like just news stories.
Yeah.
And then they go into like their interview.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to like that part, but he just chooses kind of like weird or like really, really random news stories. You know? And like weird news isn't that entertaining to me, I think. I think I prefer big stories.
Don't you feel like you can get the big stories anywhere though? Like
yeah, but if I'm listening to like a news podcast, I
Yeah.
look for big stories, not weird stories.
Yeah, I guess.
But I do like that they start with that. It makes me feel like it's not just like jumping into an interview.
Yeah. It's not just, I don't know, I kind of like the random story things. Just because, like, I don't know, I feel like I can get the big stories and I can just open up Google and get the big stories.
Yeah.
But, and it's way more a political podcast than it is a news podcast.
That's true.
Like, they might do some news, but it's mostly politics. Man, it's been so long since we did a podcast. I forgot what goes into these these categories.
You know, we don't really have any notes on here either. We just kind of have a list of them. So,
well, it's hard to expand on just political issues.
Yeah.
I guess, like we said, he's got this is more structure, but he's got the change my mind segment.
I think content-wise, though, like, there's not a lot of content. Like, he just has the intro news stories and then interviews someone, pretty much. And it's, like, never directional interviewing. He doesn't have, like, sets of questions. They just kind of talk, right? And sometimes they'll talk about, like, a topic. Content. Like, I listened to one about, like, media and stuff, but I feel like the content is very loose. Like, not as, like, fact-based or like research-based as his YouTube channel seems to be.
Yeah, which I guess is like, if you like him and agree with him on a lot of stuff, I guess that's okay. Like, if you just enjoy listening to his opinion on stuff, that's fine.
Yeah, see, I don't, so I needed a little more facts.
I feel I feel like the whole podcast is just jumping around a lot is my problem.
He talks really fast.
He does talk really fast.
And didn't you feel like, so he's kind of witty, but he doesn't like ever pause to let like his jokes be laughed at all? He just like says things and keeps going. And I'm like, that could have been funny, but then you moved on. So I feel like I don't have time to laugh.
That is true. He talks really fast. Um, I don't, I don't, I don't like, I don't like the jumping around. I don't like the bits that we talked about that because they don't just do them in the beginning. They like go into them randomly. They do like these comedy bits where they're characters and stuff.
Yeah, and then they'll like
maybe are
reference
funnier
things.
if you're watching.
Yeah, they always say that. They'll be like, if you see it, if you're watching us.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not. I'm just listening. And then when they're doing those bits, they'll like play clips of like an audio or something. And I'll be like, oh, I kind of missed the bit and I don't know what we're listening to now. And I always feel kind of lost.
Yeah, and maybe this is not their fault. Maybe it's our fault for just listening. But,
yeah, I am kind of a passive listener in general.
Yeah, I'm also just, to be honest, not into political podcasts. I don't listen to any. I'm not into politics in general. But, because I'm very, like, I just don't care. I will never listen to political podcasts because I'm not on either side. I'm not conservative. I'm not liberal. I'm very in the middle. I don't understand why we have to differentiate. Why can't you just have the opinions you have? Why do we have to label, like, if you believe this, that makes you this? I just don't get the whole system and why we need it, but I don't agree with either side enough to, like, consistently listen to a podcast about those stuff. And
That's so millennial view to be like, don't put a label on me. I don't want to be labeled.
Well, okay. Not in the same way that people do it with gender, because I hate that.
I don't mind
one
it.
thing. That is one thing I am probably more on the conservative side with, is the gender thing. But
I love it. I like when people are just being who they want to be.
That's fine. Be who you want to be. It is 100% fine to be who you want to be. You could be 120 different genders, but if it starts affecting other people, then it's a problem.
Okay. I feel unaffected, so I think but I think political podcasts are tough because I would rather listen to a political podcast that I agree with. Like, I don't mind listening to the other side, but I think it's like a different mood. Like, these podcasts were like kind of annoying me. Like, it wasn't like listening to them, I had to like kind of pay attention to try and understand where he was coming from, or like try and listen to some of his like research and facts. And it was just like, it wasn't the mood I wanted to be in to listen to a podcast. Like, podcasts are happy things for me. This wasn't like fun. It was like challenging and not what I was looking for.
Politics is not fun, which is why I don't listen to political podcasts.
Yeah.
I just don't. Yeah, I don't enjoy it. And also, like, there's just, because if you're going to listen to a political podcast, they're going to be on one side, which is going to just make them 100% biased towards their side no matter what they're talking about. And so you only are going to, like, really listen to a podcast representing the side that you most agree with anyways. So it's just like, to me, if you're not like, unless you're purposefully listening to someone with differing opinions just to like educate yourself or like see the other side or like try and meet in the middle, but I think most people don't. Most people are just going to listen to what they agree with, so you're not learning anything, you're not gaining anything from it. It's like, to me it seems like sitting just venting, I don't know, like gossiping, I don't like sitting in a group and just like talking shit and then everybody agreeing with each other.
I kind of like that. I listen to a few like feminist podcasts where they're just like, yeah, girl power, and I'm like, hell yeah, girl, look at us go. But we're really getting into the next criteria on our list.
Which is what?
Which is like the entertainment and attractiveness of it.
Yeah, a little bit of crossover. Well, one other thing I don't like, and definitely him, I don't listen to other political podcasts, so I imagine it's probably the same with all people with political podcasts, but the like vibe of condescension.
Oh,
Like,
it's
the
so
hosts are just
painful.
so condescending, and it's annoying.
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
agree. I think that was what was pissing me off last night when I was listening, which is why I moved from listening to it to trying and watching some of the YouTube videos so I could like kind of see his emotions as he's being like that. And it actually didn't help. He really just doesn't make himself look like he's actually trying to listen to someone.
Yeah, I think it's a common theme with all these like people who are like public figures that are representing, I don't know, sides of politics. People who like have their face out there. That I guess you have to be, because if you're like expressing these opinions, you have to do it extremely confidently. Otherwise, you're just gonna get walked over.
Yeah.
But I don't know. To me, it's not fun to listen to.
It's true. That's true. I agree.
But I don't know. What it comes down to is political issues, is the content. So I guess like I can't rate it low just because I don't like it. You know, the content is.
I feel like I kind of want to rate it low though because, well, not that low. I was gonna give it like a 5 or a 6, but because I don't like the confusingness of it. It's really hard to listen to. It's like hard to follow. And then it like I go in and out of attention the whole time. I just feel like the content isn't like actually engaging enough to keep me listening.
And also, like, it is a political podcast, so if you don't agree with anything he says, or if you think he's being like inaccurate or unfactual about stuff, you can rate the content lower. Like, that's allowed.
Yeah.
As far as content goes.
I think I'm gonna go. I think I'm gonna go with a 5.
Okay.
I think in general, I like what he's trying to do, but I just don't like how it comes together.
Yeah, and I don't know if it's more content or structure. I think it's a combination of both, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna hit it with a 7. I think.
Okay. It's pretty good. Well, I mean, attractiveness and entertainment level is like very obviously low to me because like I don't agree with him on most of his stances. I really hate listening to it. I'm probably never going to listen to this again.
It's a little higher for me because I don't necessarily disagree with all of his stuff, but I just, for the fact that I'm just not gonna listen to political podcasts for my own enjoyment, I'm gonna end up rating it a little lower. Though I will say I do enjoy the Change My Mind segments, and I've watched them prior to us deciding to do this podcast. So, that's something that's a little bit entertaining for me. So it won't be like a 0, but I don't think it'll be super high either. Probably be like a 6 for me.
Okay. I think mine's like a 4.
I don't have anything or like a large base to compare like him to.
Yeah.
He seems way more grounded than someone like Alex Jones, who's just crazy.
Yeah.
So, I he is very like charismatic and good at talking and stuff. So it's not like I don't think he, at least the way he besides the condescending thing, the way he presents the information doesn't like turn me off that much. But I think
I struggle with him trying to be like a political commentator, but also a comedian. Because I feel like when he's trying like the comedian piece, he just kind of sounds like a dick. And it's like not actually funny.
Yeah. I wish I would have watched more of the YouTube stuff to get a better idea. Because maybe it would have gone up. Maybe the YouTube thing is a lot better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's gonna be harder for you because you're such on opposite sides.
I know. I could never talk to him.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
What?
I was gonna say, I just feel like he's a little hypocritical. Like, he tries to make it seem like he's really listening and really giving the other side a shot, but I think he's just not, which is okay. You don't really need to. And I think that's the part that I struggle with. It's like, if you don't actually want to listen to someone and you don't want to, like, hear their perspective, then just don't, you know? Believe what you want to believe. He interrupts people a lot in the YouTube channels.
In the Change My Mind stuff or
Yeah.
the regular YouTube stuff?
The Change My Mind stuff.
All right, well, to be fair, they interrupt him a lot, too. A lot. Both sides are constantly interrupting.
Yeah, not too much, though. Like, it's different, where he'll be like, actually, here's this fact. And the other people will be like, okay, but what you said there. It's like not a listening interruption. I don't like him as a person. I can't.
Yeah, we'll agree to disagree on that one. My entertainment factor is, I think a 6 is what I said.
Yeah, you said 6. I'm going 4.
Yeah, all right, that sounds about right.
Structure-wise.
Structure? I mean, I feel like we talked about this kind of a lot, but well, here's the thing. Here's the thing about the structure is I almost feel like there is none. There's a very basic one. There's the intro, which I hate, and then there's interview segments, and then there is the news segment that comes first. So there are like segments, very obvious segments. But I don't know, the transition between them and like how long they are and when I never know when they're coming. And I don't know. It's very keeps me on my toes the whole time. I will say I actually do really enjoy the music they put in. That's more editing though. So
yeah, I think I'm just like, it feels like there's no structure to me. I'm lost the whole time. And, like, I can follow the conversations, but then something will happen, and we'll be, like, on a video clip. And I'm like, ooh, nope, I don't know what just happened.
Okay, yeah, that is one thing that really threw me off in one of these episodes, because I'll, like, read the description to see who the guests are going to be and stuff. And one of them was really interesting because they were going to have Elon Musk on. And I was like, oh, that's cool. That's going to be fun to listen to. And then they got down to it, and they're like, all right, we got this really special guest. It's Elon Musk, and they're like, hello, sir. And then whoever started talking was clearly not Elon Musk. And it turned out to just be a bit. Somebody was pretending to be Elon Musk, and they were like giving dumb answers, and they were asking stupid questions. And I was like, that's really disappointing, because in the description, you said you were going to have Elon Musk, and then you like made me think it was going to be Elon Musk, and it wasn't. So it was like, all right, we're going into the interview section. Here's Elon Musk, but it wasn't. It was another comedy bit section. And
that's a commitment, because these are like hour-long episodes. You got to like commit to get to that point.
Yeah, I was
Bummer.
invested in Elon Musk. So that was very disappointing.
Yeah, that sounds disappointing. I don't even know what to say about the structure, honestly.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay, I might give it a 4.
Okay.
I can't. I don't get it. Production-wise, though, I think I have more thoughts.
Is that the next one?
Yeah. I don't really think this is good for like what he's doing on his audio versions, because he doesn't even really call them a podcast. He calls it the audio version. I don't think it's good for like what his show is. Like, I don't think it fits in an audio, because he's constantly trying to reference something that you can't see.
Yeah, I agree. It's more of a visual, I don't know, channel series, which to be fair, they say too. They say they say you are one of the few that are only listening to this, and you should check out the YouTube. So I think they know that, but I don't think that means we can't rate the production low based on, like, if people are looking for an audio podcast,
This is
not it.
It's not it.
Another production note, which I mentioned already, is the music. I really like the music, and actually saved like a playlist on YouTube of the music they use in the show.
I actually saw that because I was trying to find. No, not that you did that, but
because that
yeah,
would be
I saw.
weird. I don't know
I'm
how you would
following
do
your
that.
computer. There's like people that make Louder with Crowder playlists on Spotify. Because I was trying to listen to it on Spotify, but the actual thing is not, like, his actual
The podcast?
podcast isn't on Spotify, but you can find playlists of the music. So other people agree with you.
Yeah, I like it. I really like the music a lot. I listened to it while I was working out the other day. So that's, if nothing else, that's a good takeaway. I got some good music out of it.
Yeah, if you're really going for it and that's all you're looking for, definitely listen for the music.
That's a lot. That's a lot of what I look for.
Yeah. I also think production-wise, his like transitions and stuff into each different clip or segment is just so choppy. I think that's why I get lost.
Yeah.
It's like it'll just cut and go into something else.
Yep, I agree. I
need a little more guidance as a listener.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you. I also don't think the audio quality is as good as a bunch of the other podcasts we've listened to. So
it seems like most of what he's doing interview-wise is probably not in person, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like that's just hard in general, but I do think, like, shit, we're not in person, buddy, and our audio sounds better than yours.
Yeah, whenever we can remember to use our microphones, it sounds really good.
Yeah, mine's plugged in right now, so I'm doing great.
Yeah, I think this will be our best audio one in a little while.
Yeah, I just don't think the production's great. I think it's, like, not right for podcasting, which is fine. Doesn't have to be. It's just not fitting for me. It's not working.
Yeah. I will, I'm going to give it a 5. It's not a 4 because I like the music. So
I'm going to give it like a 3 because it sucks and I don't actually care about the music.
Okay.
So that's how I feel. This guy did not get good ratings from me. I don't, I just...
Yeah, this will be our lowest rated, which is okay.
Yeah, it's really... And even though I hate the content, like what he's actually talking about because I don't like him, that's not actually why I gave him low ratings. I hate a lot of things about this podcast.
Yeah, I think we're pretty good about it. And you know what the funny thing is? Even though it's our lowest rated podcast, there's still obviously a ton of people out there who this is probably their favorite podcast.
Totally. I was just reading through like the YouTube comments. People love him.
Yeah. He's very hot right now. It's very hot on the college campuses.
I mean, the tables are kind of funny.
The tables?
The change my mind tables.
Yeah,
They're
that's
funny.
pretty funny.
So total, my average is a 4. Ooh, bummer.
Ooh,
yours is a 5.6. So we come out at like a 4.8 between the two of us.
Between the two of us. What's your feel, though? Your number average is a 4.
Yeah,
what would you just give it overall?
Yeah, pretty much a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
I would say pretty close for me, too. I'd probably just give it like a 6.
Yeah. It was just, not my kind of podcast.
It's not my kind of podcast either.
I think if I'm going to listen to, like, news and politics, I either want to listen to, like, just a straight-up news podcast where they're, like, telling me the news, like The Daily, if you've ever listened to The Daily. I like that. Yep. Or if I'm going to listen to a political podcast, I want to listen to, like, some chicks and having the same, like, beliefs, values that I have.
Sure.
it's like definitely good for someone and challenging to listen to the other side, but that is just a whole different mood that I don't want to be in. So I need news or my ladies. That's
All
how
right.
I feel.
You heard it here first. News of the ladies. What do we got next week? What category are we gonna do?
What should we do?
Well,
Maybe
I want to
something
do
a
games
little
and hobbies
lighter.
last. So
Yeah. Maybe we should do like an arts and entertainment. How do you feel about that?
yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do an arts and entertainment, and then we'll hit it with another educational, and then we'll do games and hobbies, and then we'll start season 2.
Woohoo!
And next week will be in person.
Yeah.
Live and in person. Only not
I don't even know
live.
how to do that. Like,
What?
am I going to have to bring all of this stuff? You're
Yeah.
going to have to coach me.
Yeah, bring your stuff. We might just use one microphone, but bring it just in case.
Okay.
Anyway,
Arts
so,
and
all right, so
entertainment.
next week will be arts and entertainment, which is a pretty
Oh,
broad
this
category.
is fun. I'm just looking at some of the, like, podcasts that fall under the Spotify arts and entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
I like a lot of them.
Oh, that's good. It'll
Mm-hmm.
be a high after this low.
Yeah, this one's a bummer. Sorry, Steve. Steve?
So listen,
Is
Steven.
his name Steve? Yeah,
um,
Steven.
Steven, people can find you where?
That's a great question. YouTube? He's not on
Go to
Spotify.
YouTube. Go to YouTube and watch this thing. You can find it on like iTunes and like Stitcher and stuff, but
Yeah, I think I
Go to
listen to
YouTube
it on
and watch it.
Stitcher, but I
do you
prefer
not
when
use
everyone's on
that
iTunes.
podcast app anymore?
No, I do, but only when I'm going to sleep because it has a sleep timer.
Sleep timer is my favorite
I
function.
know. It's clutch. I really wish Spotify had that.
Yeah.
Because user-wise, it's not a very... Like, I hate all the ads in the app and whatnot.
Yeah.
But the sleep timer thing is, like, what I
Also-
need.
Also, it's really funny, like, if you're trying to go back, if I hit the back button on my phone, then I get an ad, like a timed ad. If I
Yeah.
hit the back button, like, on the app itself, then I don't. So I have
So
to make
annoying.
sure I do that.
Yeah. I hate that.
But anyway, this is not a podcast app episode, rating episode.
But, yeah. So, I mean, I'm happy that we're back.
Yeah.
This feels
I heard
like,
a rumor that if you go 3 weeks without posting a new episode on iTunes, they remove your RSS feed. So I need to look at that. I haven't looked yet.
Wow. That would be like us right now.
I know. I don't know. I don't think it's true because I tried to Google it and couldn't find anything. But I'm gonna double check. But as of now, you can still find us on iTunes.
You can find us, on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher.
YouTube.
Our host site is on Libsyn.
Mm-hmm.
You can contact us at on the Twitter at @the_podcafe. So tweet us up.
At me, bro.
Yep, add us, message us, tell us what you think, or if you have some podcasts. You can email us too. We have this Gmail account, podcafe.contact@gmail.com.
That's
I haven't
very
looked at it in a
lovely.
while. I should. See
Very
what's going on there.
informational.
Yeah. That's all I got.
All right. Well, glad to be back. We'll do another episode next week.
I gotta go
And,
clean the coffee stains off my
Yep,
shirt.
you gotta go clean up your shirt. And
Yep.
I'm probably gonna go back to bed, to be honest.
Okay.
And yep. Make sure you're recycling your K cups. Oh, you can't do that. So
No straws. Paper
know.
straws.
yep. Use those paper straws. Don't get them stuck in your teeth.
Okay.
All right. See ya.
Bye.